Hello, Kelsey Taylor here. Welcome to another top list video. Now, this week I'm going to be doing something a little bit quick. I'm still continuing to do videos talking about my favorite movies from some of my favorite actors. Now, this one, I really hope you'll be fine with this. I'm going to be doing one on Chris Farley. Now, unfortunately, since Chris Farley died at the age of 33, I guess, he didn't get to do so many movies. In fact, I think all these I picked here, he's in the leading role, I guess. I'm only picking the ones that he's in the leading role. In fact, probably rank them from how I feel about them. Which one's my favorite Chris Farley movie? Now, for those of you who don't know, Chris Farley was a comedic actor who starred on SNL in the 80s and 90s and then branched off to do some films with, with David Spade, 2 of them at least. And he also made some appearances in some movies as well, like Wayne's World, Coneheads, and few of the ones that, I don't know. He was a very funny actor, very comedic, and one of those comedians you don't see that much nowadays. But it's just hysterical. He was just so hysterical. So with that said, I'm going to be counting down 3 of my favorite Chris Farley films, at least in the leading role, or rank all of them. Like I said, he died so young. He didn't get to do a lot of movies, so that's a real shame. Because I really think he would be at his prime right now. I don't know. Here are my 3 favorite Chris Farley movies. In order, starting off at number 3 with...
Wait up! Goodbye, everyone!
Ironically, this was my first Chris Farley film. I saw it when I was I don't know how old I was, really young, I think 5 or something. And I think this was Chris Farley's last movie he did while he was still alive. And I haven't watched it in a really long time, and at the time I thought it was really funny. It was one of my favorite movies, and at the time I didn't know Chris Farley was dead. I wouldn't know at the age of 5 about certain actors dying. I wouldn't be old enough to watch the news. I'd be too young. He died in 1997, so I would have been 4. And I didn't even know until I got the DVD of it many years later. Well, I don't have it anymore. This is 15 years ago or something. I found out that he had died, and I was sad. I had no idea. But yeah, if you know, you know what I mean. But I thought it was a really funny movie. Not that many people talk about it. I know it's tough to watch it now, knowing that this was Chris Farley's last thing, before he passed away. But I still say definitely worth checking out. It's definitely hilarious. It has that one guy from the Mortal Kombat film, so yeah, definitely check it out. But I remember Chris Farley was very hilarious in that one. Alright, number 2.
A corn-fed harvest mouse, a hooker, a nun, a Flemish peasant woman, whips chains, whistles yo-yos, a circus midget, my grandmother riding by on a bicycle, give me the finger, and a duck.
Now this one's kind of similar in tone to the number 1 movie I'm going to be talking about in a second. This movie, Black Sheep, also has a similar plot to the other one. And from what I can remember what it was about, Chris Farley tries to get his brother to be elected as Senate in the state of Washington, and David Spade helps him out with that. And I thought it was a really, funny movie. I almost put it at number 1, but I was thinking which Chris Farley film has the most rewatch value, which one I could watch numerous times. Maybe once a day would be fine. But Black Sheep I thought was kind of funny. It's one of the underrated Chris Farley movies that not that many people talk about, but I'm sure some Chris Farley fans will remember that. Like I said, the number 1 movie I'm going to be talking about, Black Sheep has a similar tone, similar humor, and kind of similar jokes, but I don't know, I just felt like I put it on the list. It was pretty funny in that. Definitely check that movie out. Now, here's my number 1 favorite Chris Farley movie, and if you guessed it, that's right. It is...
Here comes a meat wagon. Woo, woo, woo. And the medic gets out and says, "Oh my God." New guy's in the corner puking his guts out.
That scene's just hysterical. I could put in another Tommy Boy clip in. When David Spade opens the car door and Chris Farley goes, "What'd you do?" Hilarious movie. I think the funniest thing he's been in. Tommy Boy's a classic. Anyone who's a fan of comedy probably remember that movie. It's so funny. The chemistry between Chris Farley and David Spade is so brilliant. And I really think it's the best thing that Chris Farley has done. And very hilarious, and a lot of memorable lines and scenes, and you have to see Tommy Boy if you haven't. It's definitely a must-see comedy. And it's a shame that Chris Farley never lived to do that many comedies. He would have, done so much more with David Spade. I know they done some other stuff, I believe, on SNL, but, you know, they could have done so much. I mean, Chris Farley was at his prime at the time, and it's just, like, movies, like, almost perfect, but it's just so hilarious and heartfelt. Basically, from what I can remember, I haven't watched the movie in a while either. Basically, Chris Farley has to, and David Spade as well, have to sell these brake pads. Chris Farley's father passed away, and he had this business that Chris Farley's trying to keep alive, and he and David Spade are trying to sell these brake pads to keep the business open. It's a very funny movie. I'm sure they still air it on TV occasionally. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's very hysterical, and Chris Farley will make you laugh your ass off. So, yeah, that's my top 3 favorite Chris Farley movies. Mainly all of them as the lead. Let me know what you think of this list, and what is your favorite Chris Farley movie, or favorite Chris Farley moment, like on SNL or in another movie he was in, like as a side character or cameo, something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Adios!